They told you to fight your demons. Jung said, feed them. There's a reason why the most successful people seem possessed. They are. While you waste energy suppressing your darkness, Titans forge theirs into empires. Your rage, greed, obsession, these aren't character flaws, they're shadow gold. Tonight, you'll discover why your demons hold more fortune than your virtues ever will. You were taught to kill your demons, fallen king. They lied. Your darkness isn't the enemy. It's the black gold flowing beneath your conscious mind, a treasury of suppressed power that Jung mapped decades ago. Society sold you the lie that success comes from being good, pure, positive. They taught you to cage your hunger, medicate your rage, apologize for your ambition. Meanwhile, the truly powerful feast on their shadows while you starve yours. You've been programmed to fear the very traits that build empires: ruthlessness, obsession, the insatiable hunger that wakes you at 4:30 a.m. But Jung discovered the secret. What you suppress doesn't disappear. It accumulates compound interest in your unconscious. Tonight, you'll learn to withdraw from that shadow account. You'll discover why those who embrace their darkness outperform those who deny it. Every rejected trait becomes fuel when properly integrated. The question burns: will you keep fighting your nature, or will you finally feed the demons that hold your crown? Carl Jung didn't just study the human psyche, fallen king. He descended into it. In his Red Book, he documented conversations with his own demons, and what he found there revolutionized everything we know about success. He discovered that the shadow isn't your enemy. It's your most powerful employee, working the night shift while your conscious mind sleeps. Think about it. Every billionaire you admire, every empire builder you study, they all share one trait. They're not suppressing their darkness, they're channeling it. While you've been taught to cage your hunger, they've been feeding theirs through disciplined action. That restless energy that keeps you scrolling at 2 a.m., that's your shadow, screaming to be utilized, not sedated. The stakes couldn't be higher. Every day you fight your nature, someone else is weaponizing theirs. Every moment you apologize for your ambition, another fallen king claims his throne. Your demons aren't waiting to destroy you, they're waiting to be deployed. Society's greatest lie: that successful people are good people who followed the rules. Look closer. The titans of industry, the revolutionary artists, the game changers. They all broke the mold because they integrated what others rejected. Jung called this the shadow. Everything you've been taught to hide, suppress, or be ashamed of. Your greed, your rage, your hunger for power, your capacity for ruthlessness. Here's what nobody tells you: suppression is expensive. Every trait you push down requires energy to keep buried. It's like holding a beach ball underwater: exhausting, futile, and ultimately explosive. Meanwhile, that same force could be powering your ascent. The entrepreneur who works 18 hours a day isn't fueled by positive thinking. He's channeling his shadow's insatiable hunger into systematic action. The athlete who destroys competition isn't motivated by kindness. She's integrated her killer instinct into disciplined training. Jung discovered that what we reject doesn't disappear. It goes underground, gathering strength, waiting. But when you integrate these forces, when you make conscious what was unconscious, you don't become evil. You become whole. You become dangerous in the best way. You stop leaking power through suppression and start directing it toward your goals. The question isn't whether you have demons, it's whether they're working for you or against you. 4:30 a.m. Alarm rings. Most people hit snooze, but you? Something darker drives you from bed. That's not discipline, that's your integrated shadow, hungry and hunting. Jung understood what modern psychology misses. Your shadow experiences time differently. It doesn't sleep 8 hours, it burns with perpetual urgency, an eternal now that demands action. This is why integrated individuals seem superhuman. They're not fighting their nature, they're flowing with it. Consider the shadow's economy. Every suppressed trait accumulates compound interest in your unconscious. That rage you buried at 20? It's been multiplying. That ambition you were taught to hide? It's been building pressure. Most people die with this wealth locked away, but the fallen king withdraw from this account daily. They transform suppressed anger into unstoppable drive. They convert hidden narcissism into magnetic confidence. They alchemize forbidden greed into empire-building hunger. The process is visceral. When you first integrate shadow material, it feels like drinking liquid fire. Your body rebels. Your conditioning screams. Society's voices echo. That's too much. That's too aggressive. That's not you. But push through that resistance, and something miraculous happens. The traits that once sabotaged you become your greatest assets. Your perfectionism stops paralyzing and starts producing excellence. Your anger stops exploding randomly and starts fueling focused action. Your hunger stops creating desperate neediness and starts building systematic wealth. This is the shadow's gift. Inexhaustible energy drawn from the very forces you've been taught to fear. While others operate on surface-level motivation that fades by noon, you're powered by primal forces that burn through the night. Your demons don't need coffee. They don't need inspiration. They just need direction. Feed them purposefully, or they'll feed on you. Jung knew what Instagram motivators don't. Integration isn't pretty. The shadow contains real darkness. Your capacity for cruelty, manipulation, the part that would step on others to rise. Most people want shadow power without shadow truth. They want to be badass without being bad, but consciousness transforms everything. When you own these traits fully, they become tools. Cruelty becomes surgical precision. Manipulation becomes strategic influence. Emotional detachment becomes decisive leadership. The difference between a tyrant and a king isn't the absence of dark traits, it's consciousness. The tyrant is possessed by his shadow, destroying blindly. The king has integrated his shadow, building deliberately. Your throne awaits, but first you must befriend the monster within. Jung's final revelation. The shadow isn't just psychological, it's metaphysical. It exists where time and limitation don't apply. This is why integrated individuals operate by different rules, drawing from a dimension beyond conventional reality. Your shadow doesn't fatigue. It doesn't need weekends. It exists in eternal hunger and infinite now. When you integrate this force, you're tapping into a primordial engine that predates civilization's rules. Successful people seem possessed because they've connected to what others severed, their shadow realm. While others operate in 3 dimensions, they've accessed the 4th, where demons become allies. Everything converges here. Your exhaustion isn't from working too hard, it's from fighting your nature. Your demons aren't curses, they're employees waiting for assignments. Jung's map leads to one destination, the throne room where your shadow sits, holding the crown you've been seeking elsewhere. The integrated life isn't about balance, it's about alliance. When you stop fighting your darkness and start directing it, when you transform suppression into strategy, when you finally feed the hunger that never sleeps, that's when you become unstoppable. Not because you've conquered your demons, but because you've made them your generals. The throne is empty, your shadow holds the key. Jung's ultimate truth. Your demons were never your enemies. They're messengers bearing gold. Every forbidden impulse, every shadow you tried to hide, isn't a curse, but currency waiting to be claimed. Most people waste energy fighting their nature, bleeding themselves dry, while the awakened channel that same force into building empires. The shadow realm works by different laws. Feed it, and energy grows. This is why integrated people seem tireless. They draw on the endless reserves of their own darkness. While others exhaust themselves battling inner conflict, the integrated thrive, powered by what most fear. The journey isn't about being good or pure, it's about becoming whole. Billionaire ruthlessness, artistic obsession, revolutionary hunger. These aren't flaws, but shadow gold, refined into pure power. Your demons don't seek to ruin you. They want to be put to work, to break your limits, to build and conquer. The real fortune isn't metaphor. It's the wealth of energy and focus locked in your shadow, waiting for you to claim it. You now stand where knowledge must become action. Integration means one thing. Stop fighting your nature and start directing it. Every shadow trait, greed, rage, hunger, becomes a weapon when used consciously. The path ahead isn't easy. It asks you to face what disturbs and own what frightens. Here's your call. Be the alchemist of your darkness. Turn suppression into strategy, shame into strength. Let your demons become generals, not saboteurs. The integrated don't need motivation. They're allied with forces that never sleep. Your shadow is burning. Let it build. In the shadow-drenched throne room of your psyche, the crown no longer lies fallen. It gleams with dark light, waiting for the one brave enough to claim it. The monsters you once fled now kneel as generals. The darkness you once feared now fuels your empire's endless flame. The choice crystallizes into diamond clarity. Remain divided and weak, or integrate and rise. Your demons are stirring, hungry for purpose. Feed your demons. Fallen king, your fortune awaits in the darkness.